How? We won again. This is good. But what is best in life?
The open steppe, fleet horse, falcons at your wrist, and the wind in your hair.
Wrong! Conan, what is best in life?
To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
That is good. That is good.
Man, I don't know about you, but that shit made me want to do about 100 push-ups. Welcome to another taping of the EboSosa show. I am your host, EboSosa, and I want to thank you right now for tuning into this, giving me the most precious gift that you have to offer anyone on YouTube, which is your time and attention. I just played you a song that revolves around the topic I'm getting ready to present to you, the information that I'm about to present to you. That song, I made that beat. I made it aggressively. And in the beginning, there was a clip from a movie, Conan the Barbarian, that, in my opinion, kind of capsulizes aspects of masculinity, which is what I'm going to talk to you about today. I'm going to give you 10 ways to cultivate real masculinity. And this is brought to you by the EboSosa show. Me, EboSosa. Now, the clip that I played at the beginning of that beat was a scene from Conan, as I stated. And in the scene, it was a room full of warlords and warriors. Excuse me. And they had just received information that they have gained a victory somewhere, some battle. And the cheers went up, and the warlord in the middle of the room asks, "This is good, but what is best in life?" And one of the warriors, could have been a general, who knows, very decorated looking, very noble looking, a jawline nigga. He says, "The open steppe, a fleet horse, falcons at your wrist, and the wind in your hair is what's best in life to him." Well, the warlord, as you heard, said, "Wrong!" Then he asked Conan what is best in life. And Conan stated, "To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of the women." And the room cheered, and the warlord stated, "That is good. That is good." Well, I'm going to tell you that those two answers are caged perceptions of masculinity. Very caged perceptions. See, the open step, falcons at your wrist and the wind in your hair, a fleet horse, things of that nature. That reminds me of a brother thinking that his car and his shoes and his clothing make him masculine, make him a man. Flossing, kind of like Floyd Mayweather. Flossing makes him, well, maybe that's a bad example, because Floyd kicks some ass too. Maybe that's a good example, because that actually is what Conan was talking about, kicking ass and getting bitches. And I'm telling you that those are very caged perceptions of what masculinity is. I am going to provide you with 10 ways to cultivate real masculinity. All right? Head up, eyes and ears, the fuck open. What you just heard was 2 examples of caged masculinity. I am about to provide you information from the uncaged human's perception of masculinity. 10 powerful practices of cultivating real masculinity. Let us begin. See, you heard the 2 examples earlier. But see, lots of money, beautiful women draped around you in a ripped 6-pack body. This is the media's definition of masculinity. A shallow character that leaves a lot of men feeling like weak, hopeless pussies. See, we're led to believe that manliness is something you're either born with or you're not. Real masculinity, on the other hand, has nothing to do with these things. It's not about power and status. You might disagree. But, and also, it's not about how much money is in your bank account, or how many women you done banged, or, as Conan so barbarically put it, how many women you done heard the lamentation of. See, here's the truth about masculinity that you were never told. Being a great man is the result of having good models. From fathers, teachers, coaches, and elders. Men that teach you how to show up powerfully in life. How to be there for your partner and family. How to overcome challenges and problems. And yes, even how to feel your emotions and know what to do with them. But maybe you were one of those men who never had the example of what real masculinity is. I grew up under a single mother, but I had influences from uncles, and I did know who my father was. But maybe you didn't. So, you don't really know what masculinity is, and why should you? You were never given the example. You were never given the chance, Now, does this mean you're just hopeless and broken? That something is wrong with you? Nah. No. It just means that you never received the opportunity to find out what it really means to be a man. Or maybe your decisive or ability to be directive and strong was shut down by somebody bigger than you. Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. The only important question is, where do you go from here? Now, see, these are practices They're practices that I've found to help you embody your true, authentic masculinity. I hope they benefit you as much as they have me. And you can do these practices no matter what kind of models you've had in your life or what your past was like. And each time you do these practices, you'll start to feel that strong man within you that's been waiting to emerge. Are you ready? Head up, eyes and ears open. Number 1, embrace not knowing. Embrace not knowing. Say it with me. I don't know. I don't know. See, these are the scariest words in a man's vocabulary, whether you know it or not. Think about it. When's the last time you felt afraid to admit that you didn't know where you were going or what you were doing? That you don't know how to change the oil. That you don't know what steps to take next. That you don't know where you're going in life. And biggest of all, that you don't know who you are. Getting comfortable with not knowing can change your life as a man, and is actually one of the quickest routes to true certainty. When you embrace that you don't know, you're not getting in the way for the answers to emerge. See, not knowing is not weakness. You understand? It takes a strong man to admit that he doesn't know. And when you own your I don't know, you're creating space for curiosity, for insight, and revelations, and next actions. You understand? This practice is real simple. Just admit you don't know. Own it, and the power it has over you will dissolve. See, I didn't always feel capable in my body, and I had no idea what I was doing a lot of times in life, but I kept making mistakes. And this, I think, is one of the key factors of me figuring out my true masculinity. You understand? Number 2. And this one, I think I'm going to repeat this twice. Number 2, feel your emotions. Let me say it again. Feel your emotions. Okay? Because see, whether you believe it or not, manliness does not equal not feeling anything. Wait, let me say that again. Manliness does not equal not feeling anything. See, because believe it or not, men have, wait for it, wait, emotions. What a novel concept, eh? Now, I can just tell you to feel and own what you feel. But if you've lost touch with your emotions, that wouldn't be very helpful. And it really might be because you've been taught not to feel them. Hell, you might not even be aware of when they're happening. I mean, look, think about it. How many times as a child can you remember coming in upset about something? You might have even been crying. You might have gotten into a fight or hurt yourself or something like that. And you come to an adult or come to your mother, your father crying, and what do they say? Stop all that crying. Girls cry. Crying is for sissies. Don't be crying, Suck them tears up. We don't cry around here. That's fucked up. That's not right. It is human to have emotions. You know, so where do you start? Well, let's start with frustration. See, frustration can be the easiest place to start. Or like when a coworker sends you an annoying email, when your boss says something that pisses you off. Instead of shrugging it off and acting like it doesn't matter, try feeling it fully. Take a moment to just sit with it. I mean, really just sit with it. If a friend or family, that's especially one, friends and family, if a friend or family member lets you down or says something hurtful, don't just act like it didn't happen. Feel it. Even if it sucks, man, feel it. See, because bypassing it might seem easier, but that resolves nothing and it helps no one. Because if you don't express it, all that's going to happen is it's going to take up residence and fester in your body. It's going to create a backlog of unexpressed emotion that prevents you from expressing your true masculine power. Consider all the areas of your life that are emotional that you maybe haven't acknowledged. For example, maybe you're like me and you get real emotional when you're watching boxing or UFC, or maybe playing poker really gets you jacked up or amped up. Or, if you're really struggling, think about why you do the work you do. Why do you show up to your job or your business? What's the real reason you're doing it? Is it to provide for your family, or to set a good example for your kids? To make a positive impact on the world? See, I propose that reconnecting to the underlying why behind what you do will help ground you in your purpose. It gives you precious fuel that propels you. It propels you to operate at a much higher level. You see what I'm saying? Emotions are life. They don't make you a sissy. All right? Number 3, meditate on your death. See, one of the most powerful practices I've picked up is from Stoicism. It's called negative visualization. It immediately shifts things back into perspective and helps you remember what truly matters. In my mind, I go back to an example of when I was driving years ago. I think it was in 2008. I was driving in Maine, and I had a load of water. I was driving 65 miles an hour with cruise control on. And y'all, I fell asleep behind the wheel. Out. 65 miles an hour, cruise control, a whole load of water. Now, I don't know what was going on, but the Creator was with me that day, because I woke up and I was going right towards a toll booth. My friend is back again. I was going right towards a toll booth. And I don't know if any of you have been through toll booths, but those things are narrow, especially in trucks. For some reason, I don't know, the Creator had me perfectly lined up to pass right through the toll booth. There was no cars in my way, and pow, 65 miles an hour cruise control. I went right through that gate, and let me tell you, I pulled my black ass over at the next rest area, trembling. And this might sound nasty, but I kissed the ground and thanked my Creator. Man. Deliberate contemplation of your death is the fastest route to getting clear on what matters most to you. Ironically, pondering that you'll die gives you a greater perspective on the value of your life. Now, I'm not saying do what I did and go through a near-death experience, but try this. Lie down, face up on the floor with your eyes closed, as if you were a corpse. Feel the energy in your body and realize that that life force someday will leave. A future moment not too far from now will be your last. Imagine your body like a slowly draining battery. Your last breath. Fade to black. Have you done everything that you came here to do? Have you served those you love in the world in a way you know that you're truly capable of? What will people say about the way you lived? Do you even care? With this perspective, contemplate what you would change to die complete, and how you might alter the way you spend your days. How will you live today as if it were your last? Got me pondering. Oh man, if you really want to get clear on your purpose, don't leave this video without doing this practice, okay? Number 4, create a practice of silence. In the beginning of this video, I played you a clip from Conan the Barbarian. And there's another scene in that movie where James Earl Jones, who plays the main villain, his name is Thulsa Doom. And there's a scene in that movie where he comes out and he addresses his audience. And he says, "Who amongst you still fears death? Who will not face emptiness?" And that's what I'm talking about. Emptiness. See, emptiness is where most men, especially me, feel at home. Think about the driving reason behind all of your actions. You want to get it done, right? You want to get things done to reach completion. And you probably have a fantasy, like most men do, that one day, someday, you can work enough so you'll never have to work again. Well, see, the problem with this is I'm sure you've realized that despite your efforts, there's always more work to do. You'll never, ever, ever be done. So, how does one feel the experience of bliss, the bliss of being done right now? Well, that's simple. By sitting in silence, embracing emptiness. See, this practice is simple and uncomplicated, all right? What you do is you sit somewhere, get yourself comfortable, and don't try to do anything. Don't try to meditate. Don't try to silence your thoughts. If you have thoughts that come up, am I doing this right? Is this pointless? Just let them be there. Let those thoughts be there. See? Silently remain aware of your mind, of your body. Don't try to fix or change your thoughts. Don't try to think positively. Just let your mind be a mind. Just allow things to be as they are, you know? And if this feels too simple, just sit with that. Number 5. Be fully present in every situation. Okay? As you're looking at me right now, doing this video, is your attention fully and completely here? Or is it somewhere else? Maybe part of your attention is here, but another slice is thinking about what you're going to have for lunch, dinner, or what your woman said to you earlier today, or what you're getting ready to get into, you know? Now, think about what you really desire as a man from your partner, from your kids, the people you might lead. You want them to trust you, right? This is perhaps the hardest thing to do. It's perhaps the hardest practice out of everything I'm going to read to you on this list. The world, more than ever, is training us to be fragmented. Everyone and everything, especially here on YouTube, is demanding our attention. Hell, fighting for it, you know? The screen and the feed seem inescapable, which just makes the importance of disconnecting and being deliberate about how you deploy your attention even more critical. Make a practice of doing one thing at a time. The next time you drive, try doing just that. When you have a conversation with someone, discipline yourself to return to the moment and really listen to what they're saying, for Christ's sake. I think I mentioned this on my video, Ego Overload, but I'm repeating it because it's valuable. When you open your computer or your phone, ask yourself, what the hell am I doing now? You know? You might even want to make that the question of your background. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you my own words. What the hell am I doing now? Make that a background of your smartphone. Because, this one simple thing can make you a better dad, husband, and friend, to be honest with you. Learning how to listen without thinking. Being fully present in the moment. Number 6. Practice being decisive and direct. One of the greatest strengths of masculinity is the ability to be directive, to move confidently in a specific direction to achieve a goal. The masculine wants to get it done, to make it happen, to overcome obstacles against all odds. If you feel indecisive most of the time, you have an undeveloped and unpracticed masculine capacity. The more you practice being decisive, the more you can strengthen this part of you. You'll probably find that you end up craving decisiveness and find yourself in situations where your assertiveness can be a gift to others. With time and practice, you can learn how to make decisions that best serve the group by taking a strong lead. See, this isn't just about achieving goals or advancing your career, though, all right? Now, yes, those are great areas for practicing making strong, deliberate choices. But you can practice this in any area of your life. The next time you go to a restaurant, for example, don't hem and haw what you're going to order for food, Quickly feel what you're in the mood for and pick something out without hesitation. When you pay the check, put your card down with purpose. Look your server in the eye and thank them with intention. Give your full presence to those that you are with. All right? Whatever you do it like you mean it. Number 7, reconnect with nature and rehabilitate yourself from captivity. See, as men, we have an innate call to adventure, a deeper drive to break free from restraints and challenge ourselves to find out what we're really made of. We're not meant to live in cages, either metaphorically or literally, by staying indoors all day and or being chained to a device. I wonder why my bird stopped singing. See, you're not a zoo animal. You're a human that comes from nature, you understand? You come from the wild, and you shouldn't be afraid of the planet you live on. But wilderness ain't just about going off the grid or, like I did back in the day to figure things out. It isn't about primal screaming and rolling around in the dirt and mud and, things like that. It's about reconnecting with the source of where you come from. It's about feeling at home in the mountains or in the forest or on some trails, you know what I mean? It's about using nature as a way to reconnect with yourself. Like what I'm doing right now, 4:30 in the morning. And I love this time. The morning dew is all around. The chill of the AM, the twilight hours. It's a wonderful thing, y'all. See, I recommend this. Start with exposing yourself more to the elements each day. Go outside. Put your bare feet in the ground. Stop being scared to touch things around you despite COVID. Go off the path. Feel the wind in your face and the sky above you. That's your home, your original home. Return to the source by making a commitment to getting out into the wild as much as you can. Take retreats into the woods. In whatever way you can, make work in your life. I hope I'm making sense to you. Or, make a morning routine to reconnect with nature. Most importantly, don't put wilderness and connection to your planet last on your to-do list. Yeah. Number 8. Reclaim your primal strength. Reclaim your primal strength. Because, see, movement is life. The energy, the power and force you want to inhabit as a man is dependent on how embodied you are. Power lives in the body. Your body is your vehicle for moving through the world. Okay? Yet, most men live their lives predominantly trapped in their own heads. I am very guilty of this. See, we're always thinking, analyzing, planning. We might as well be walking heads on a stick. It's like our desire for completion. It never ends. Now, we don't want to kill the mind and exalt the body. That'll just be another trap. And quite frankly, that's what's going on a lot nowadays in this society. See, but we need to bring a counterbalance to constantly living in our heads. Now, it doesn't really matter where you start so much that you find something that resonates with you, something that gives you power, something that you can be devoted to. It could be, reading, parkour, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, uh, tango, swing dancing. In Chicago, we got stepping, diversion. You know what I'm saying. However, though, movement doesn't have to be something you pay for in a class. You understand? I needed to really say that. You can just as easily start by going to the park and crawling on the ground, climbing trees, jumping from rock to rock at one of these California beaches out here, Hell, I'm going to dare say being a weirdo sometimes helps, And anyway, movement is life. The people not moving, sitting for 12 hours, those are the real weirdos, to be honest with you. Oh man, I'm going to get so hated for that. Number 9. Give courageously. Okay? See, a core masculine desire is the creation of freedom. It starts with wanting personal freedom, to be able to do what you want, when you want, how you want, no restrictions, no boundaries, right? But if it only starts and ends with you, it eventually becomes a meaningless pursuit. Freedom for what? To what purpose? To what end, man? Because see, I dare say, at least from my experience, freedom in the service of others is much more interesting, fulfilling. Yeah, it's a much more interesting and fulfilling game to play. You dig what I'm saying? How can creating more freedom in your life serve for your family, your friends, hell, the whole world? Remembering your death helps you ground back into why you're doing what you're doing. Because see, this day could be your last. Do you want to end it giving courageously or staying centered only on your own small desires? Start from where you are. What small thing can you do or share today to give? And last, but certainly not least, number 10. And number 10 is find a tribe. Find a tribe, like the masculine mercenaries. See, because just as wolves come in packs, birds come in flocks, humans come in tribes. Human evolution depends on the cohesiveness of the tribe. Yet our highly individualistic society has caused us to lose our biggest asset as humans. Self-reliance is great, but at what point do we let ourselves rely on others and others rely on us? See? Brotherhood makes us strong. See, I believe that men are waking up and realizing that they're missing something. We're remembering the value that being surrounded by strong, honorable, and courageous men can bring into our lives. Because doing it alone, now I had to realize this, doing it alone only gets me so far, Doing it alone only will get you so far as well. But when you're in a group, when we're in a group rather, we expose ourselves to collective knowledge skill, and men in all ranges of development, young and old. If you're viewing this, I have a strong inclination that you're one of these men. I'll give you an example. On YouTube, an example of a young man who I think, two young men that I think are wise beyond their years, who are in the masculine mercenaries, the Grinch and Bishop. These two young men I've heard spit wisdom that 50-year-old men can't even fathom. And then there are the elders of the space, BGS. You know, there are others. Angry Man, Just wisdom is such a thing that is looked at as something that only old men have. Anyway, I don't want to get off into that. I think this completes this show. I really hope that you've enjoyed this presentation of the EboSosa show. This has been a presentation of an uncaged perception of 10 ways to cultivate real masculinity. I hope you've enjoyed this. Like the video, leave a comment, and share it everywhere. Because hell, I don't even think this limits men. This goes to just being a human being, okay? So again, I hope you've enjoyed this. And I look forward to providing you with content. Conversations with Wifey will continue. We have a topic of discussion. We have to hammer it out because it's a topic that we are going to have to dive into. The topic is going to be equally yoked. So stay tuned to Conversations with Wifey. I look forward to providing you with more content. You guys have yourselves a blessed morning. And as I always like to say, if you have viewed this, then you should do this. Okay? Bye.